Sometimes songs just hit differently, like it moves you, even though it feels like it's barely doing anything. That's what I wanted to capture here with Joji's Pixelated Kisses. I wanted to create a remix that we can use as an example to follow along with. Today, I'm going to show you how to make a lo-fi ambient remix that conveys emotion, that moves people, the textures, the space, all of that. Now, I'm not going to go through the entire project, otherwise we'd be here all day. But if you want the full breakdown, the MIDI files, and the project to download, that's all waiting for you over at my Patreon. For now, let's focus on the details that set you off in the right direction. Let's dive into it. Oh, and between you and I, things didn't start off sounding like this. My first attempt actually sounded like this. Let me show you what changed and how it completely transformed the vibe, as well as set me up for success. So with any remix that you're creating, establish the most important elements first. For this remix, it wasn't as important that I referenced the drums as it was the chords. For this first exercise, you can grab any instrument, but we will be switching it up very soon to add intimacy. I like to break my tracks up into two to start off with, chords for the left hand and melodies for the right hand of the piano. This is going to allow you to mix those melodic tracks more effectively. So first up, let's find our chords for the left hand. They're pretty simple. We're basically using these 4 chords. The right hand melody is a little bit more intricate than the left, but nothing that a YouTube tutorial won't help you out with. When you've got your structure down, look at the MIDI itself and focus on humanization, where the MIDI notes occur, and velocity. These things really help to sell that humanistic feel. But it's not the only thing we're going to change, so make sure you stick around for something that I doubt you've seen in most other YouTube tutorials. Now, at a base level, this is neither interesting or intimate. So let's focus on creating that now. First off, if you're using a piano sound that has that Foley foot pedal hammer noise, put that noise on a separate track or in an instrument rack so that you can also mix and perfect those clunky noises. You may also want to use your chords as pads or the bottom note as a sub later on, so it's best to duplicate this now. Now with this fairly stale melodic sound, I want to put this in an instrument rack so I can create unique key sounds. I craft these and save them for later use as well. So I'll take an intimate piano like this claustrophobic piano. Something with a cheaper sound like the Ableton upright piano. And then something percussive or synth-like to give it a unique texture. Each of these sounds you can EQ into low, mid, and high frequency bands, and then couple with effects to give more character. I'll often add delays or reverb wash to the highest band. Now at this point, you really want to think about your overall sound. You have your main chords and structure, so what picture are you trying to paint? I went wrong the first time as I didn't really have a direction or a reference track. Ensure your sound selection is in keeping. So in the final project, you can see that I've picked a lot of sounds all within that kind of ambient universe. A lot of soft synths that build on this same texture and one heart focused presets that I have available over at the Patreon. All of the sounds here are either taking chords from that left hand or melody from that right hand MIDI line. I've separated them onto different tracks and just pitched them up or down for added color. At this point, I should tell you this song is also on streaming platforms. I use DistroKid to release all of my music, and you get the added benefit of being able to release cover songs. With DistroKid, I'm not going to get a copyright strike. They take care of everything as long as I make sure I've crafted all of the parts myself. So give this song a play when you get the chance and sign up with DistroKid with the affiliate link in the description to start releasing your own songs. Let's get back to the video. Now, this is the part where I start looking at the project and I ask myself, where does it seem too repetitive? Where can I change the dynamics or introduce something new? I like to start by finding the pedal tone of the song. Since we're in E minor, then it's just E. Or if we want a bit of tension, then B. I don't want to rely on repetitive pedal tones today, but I also don't want to spam noise sweeps for every transition. So I'll click on the note E in the key at Splice and look for one-shots that I can turn into pads or drones to glue sections together. This Audio Modern pack has these wonderful ambient guitars that work perfectly as I automate the EQ or wash out the reverb to keep them evolving. Sometimes if I need more glitchy textures, I'll throw it into a granulator, or especially if the loop is too short. I'll show you a few examples. It's important to add all of these techniques together when creating an instrumental remix because we don't have the narrative context of the vocals to pull your listener through to the end. So what other techniques can we use to convey emotion? Something you may have noticed is that my tempo automation is ever changing. Did you spot that? It's not super conventional and wouldn't really work if I had a lot of percussive grooves, but for ambient, classical, or solo piano, it's the perfect way to create a more intimate, emotional, human sound. Look at this example. Don't be scared to add new harmonics and playful features to this too. It needs to be your remix and have your sound. I like to add bells, chimes, or more metallic sounds when the mix is thin to give the track a lift. At the end here, I automate a fast arpeggio to give excitement to the mix because we don't have the addition of any percussion or vocal doubling. So there we have it, a handful of techniques that you can use in your own ambient or lo-fi remixes. As I said, I go deeper over at the Patreon and you can download the MIDI tracks and the projects as well as hundreds of other posts over there. Let me know what some of your favorite remix techniques are so I can feature it in future videos. Thank you as always for swinging through and I'll catch you next time.